Greetings from our beautiful mum-filled South Campus, where you can still feel the momentum, the inspiration of fall weekend. We welcome back alumni celebrating milestone reunions, including the class of 1975 celebrating their 50th reunion, the class of 2000 celebrating their 25th, the classes of 1985, 2010, 2015, and the many classes of Threshold program. We cheered on our Lynx teams at home games, honored new members of our Athletics Hall of Fame, and celebrated alumni award winners. Across campus, students and alumni showcased their creativity in art and music, while faculty hosted learning sessions and panels that reminded us of the depth and range of Leslie expertise. Families, friends, and colleagues reconnected at gatherings that stretched from the South Quad to University Hall. One of the most meaningful parts of the weekend was seeing our campus through the eyes of alumni. Many reflected on how much has changed in their time at Leslie, and how those changes reflect an investment that honors our enduring commitment to community building, while at the same time creating modern, flexible environments that serve the needs of today's students, faculty, and staff. These spaces are not just buildings, they're places that adapt to the way our community learns, works, and gathers today. What struck me most across the entire weekend was the common thread of pride in this university and the lasting impact of a Leslie education and the Leslie community. It was palpable as Professor Marianne Cappiello met with Grant McDermott about his being a finalist for NEATE's Teacher Poet of the Year Award. You felt it keenly at the Athletics Hall of Fame and the games the next day, where inductees talked about how central the support of their teams and coaches are to their lives. It was a powerful reminder that the Leslie experience doesn't end at graduation. It grows and evolves, carried forward by the people, programs, and partnerships that define us. About partnerships, what struck me clearly was how our move to develop partnerships builds on Leslie's long history of educating the best practitioners in education, mental health, the arts, and related fields, and deepens the connections between education and employment that have always distinguished a Leslie education. Alumni spoke often about how they chose Leslie or loved Leslie because they started working in the classroom at the same time as they started their educational journey. That's exactly what our unique Scholar Partners program does. We now have 36 partnerships with education, mental health, art, and business organizations, providing over 200 internships. And here's the key: awarded to students when they start at Leslie. This gives them the opportunity to learn simultaneously from faculty, often practitioners themselves, and professionals in the workforce. This grants them that same very deep understanding of their field and where they want to practice that has always been the hallmark of a Leslie education. We recently added our newest Scholar partner, the League School for Autism, which will welcome Leslie interns from our graduate education programs, our MSW program, and our undergraduates. League School was one of the first schools in New England dedicated to educating students with autism. They see themselves as a school plus, a place where every moment is a teachable one, whether in the classroom, the workplace, or at home. That philosophy is deeply aligned with Leslie's own approach, particularly in our Threshold program. Both Leslie and the League School share a belief that education should prepare students not just for academic success, but for fuller participation in life. I've spoken before about a Leslie Art and Design community studio, which worked with our marketing department. Led by Professor Trina Baker and engaging 14 students across programs, their animated video highlights Leslie's unique model in a visually compelling, authentic, and fun way. These students have captured what makes Leslie so special. I am so appreciative of their contribution. As we've launched our new website, more about that in a minute, We've seen that both our alumni and our partners are leaning in to the amazing resources provided by our professional learning network. I urge you to take some time to explore the second portal on our site and understand the depth and breadth of this resource, which we are adding to every day. One place to start would be the micro-learning from Roberto Maiti. An MFA graduate from Lesley and an award-winning producer and member of the PBS team, Roberto is clearly skilled in his craft. In 90 short seconds, he gives us a taste of the meaning and impact of storytelling and how it extends across new media. But the Professional Learning Network is more than a resource, because it is uniquely about alumni leading continuing education and communities of practice for other alumni and like professionals. It's an extension of our community and a way to celebrate and support the professions that are at the heart of Lesley's educational mission. There's something truly extraordinary about extending your knowledge base with practical teachings by people who share a connection to Lesley, and therefore a mindset, an educational foundation, a commitment to using the professions to make a difference in the greater world. Though it's still in its early days, the PLN is already igniting an even deeper connection to Lesley, our education model, and our broader community. We're also continuing key explorations as a community. I'm energized by the conversations we're having about the role of artificial intelligence in professional training. An institutional survey and a series of faculty, staff, and student focus groups are helping us understand how our community is already engaging with AI and what support is needed. Early findings show that about 40% of respondents use AI regularly, mostly for communications, summarizations, scheduling, and lesson planning. Most describe themselves as novice or intermediate users, which highlights the need for structured training. Students emphasized AI's value as a tool, while also raising concerns about academic integrity, artistic authenticity, and sustainability. We'll hold another focus group of faculty and staff on October 30th, and I hope you'll join us. We will then take these insights forward into a working group that will shape a plan for integration, education, and training, with a focus on the way AI can support our strengths in education, mental health and well-being, art and design, and programs such as liberal arts and business and Threshold. We also just launched the conversation with University Council to develop in that cross-university setting their insights on this and on our second initiative around neurodiversity. On October 9th, we'll launch a similar university-wide workshop to begin shaping a comprehensive model of support for neurodiverse learners. Lesley's long been a leader in this space, and now we're working together to imagine what a holistic model could look like, not only for our campus, but for higher education more broadly. I'll share more updates in the months ahead, but we'll be forming a working group around this initiative as well. And of course, work goes forward on our NECHI self-study. We'll be sharing drafts with each department about their area, and then later in the fall, the entire report. In some short updates, we're excited to see the chapel renovations moving forward. This will be a truly special place for art, gathering, and community. Despite a few hiccups with construction materials and HVAC, the project remains on schedule for a spring opening, and we look forward to welcoming you all into a space that supports so much across the campus, including a second green screen facility. Our searches for the next provost and CFO are also advancing. Provost interviews are taking place in the coming weeks, with the goal of announcing our new academic leader by mid to late October. For the CFO, we're seeking someone who understands the complexity of an organization like ours and who can roll up their sleeves and engage deeply with the sophisticated financial models that we've developed so we can build sustainable programs and ensure they continue to meet student needs. Finally, we're thrilled to launch the new website earlier this semester. As expected, this is an ongoing effort to redesign, prioritize, and expand resources. Our current focus is on updating faculty biographies and headshots, with the aim of having this information live by the middle of the semester. As part of our Strock Massa lecture series, we're honored to welcome Doris Kearns Goodwin to campus this October. A Pulitzer Prize-winning historian and chronicler of presidential leadership, she brings unique insights into resilience and decision-making that feel especially timely for our community. This is an extraordinary opportunity to hear directly from one of the nation's most respected voices on history and leadership. If you'd like to attend the lecture, please reach out to us to secure your seat. We encourage you to join us for what promises to be a memorable and thought-provoking evening. As I close this video, I want to congratulate the women's soccer team who tied Brandeis. Brandeis ranked 11th in the country, a tremendous feat. And to share an insight by one of our Athletic Hall of Fame inductees about the pride that there is for what our community is accomplishing and the excitement for what lies ahead. In talking about that, he noted that Lesley is a secret, phenomenal school. He's right. And the way we change that first part, that it remains more of a secret than we'd like, is to celebrate each of us in all we do and with all the challenges that universities like ours face, our pride in this institution and the community that is Lesley. Thank you for your contributions, your creativity, and your commitment. Together, in a challenging time for education, we're shaping a future for Lesley that's both grounded in our strengths and open to new possibilities.